everyone, welcome back. 2024, we got a new recipe coming for you. This is carrot soup. It is delicious. This video is going to be filled with a little bit of drama. Not for you, for me. This was a horrible, if anything could go wrong, it would go wrong on this day recipe. So follow along for the drama. So I'm just washing some carrots here. They were really clean, so to be honest, I left the skin on, extra nutrients. I don't know, whatever. They always say that, don't they? So left the skin on, washed them really well. There were some that I peeled just because I'm a bit fussy. But we reduced a lot of waste. So next we're just going to chop the top and bottom of the carrots, top and tail them. And we're just going to run through this quick. I don't know if I'm right, but the carrots lately have been amazing, so I don't know if they're in season or not. But they've just been really sweet lately. I don't know if anybody else thinks the same. It could just be me, and I could just be the weirdo. But we've done that now, so let's get rid of all the peelings and the ends and carry on with the next bit. So we're just going to chop up the carrots, just rough, nothing fancy. I'm going to chuck them into a pan ready for roasting. Once you've chopped them all up, there's the last one here, we're going to add some olive oil. Just going to drizzle some of that over it, about 2 tablespoons maybe. Just zigzag back and forward, up and down. That's what I normally go by. Just make sure there's enough to cover all the carrots. Then we're going to put a little bit of salt in there. Don't be scared of salt. Salt is not the enemy with cooking. Too much salt is, but a little bit isn't. What this will do is start a process called osmosis, and that will bring the water out of the carrots and help them steam and roast a little bit better. And any excess salt will be drained out. So don't worry. That could all be nonsense, by the way. That's what I've heard before from other chefs. But it could all be nonsense, and I could be lying to you. So, take it with a pinch of salt. Bum. So once you've put some salt on and the oil, we're just going to mix them all together, and we're going then to place these trays into a preheated oven. I normally put everything at 200, you know that. So you know your oven. Do what you think is best. Now you may have noticed as well we got a different camera angle than normal. It's just because I lost the tripod that I would normally use. Or if you want me to be truthful, I just couldn't be bothered to take it out of the drawer. So you can't really see what's going on behind the pot here, but I'm just chopping up an onion and putting it into the pot just to start sweating and cooking up. The carrots, as you can see in the background, have already come out. They were roasting, I would say probably for about 20 minutes to half an hour. Can anybody as well give me any tips on how to peel garlic from the bulb? Because I have no clue, and it took me ages. I was taking each little papery layer off and it wasn't working. But we're going to take some garlic and we're just going to smash them. You don't really need to chop them because we're going to be blending this all up anyway. So just take the skin off and then smush it. Is that a word? Well, it is now. You're just going to smash it on the back of the knife. Please be careful. Just so that it just opens it up and gets the oils released. I'm doing this all in advance as well because the onions took about 5 minutes to... Oh, there's my garlic. Look at me showing you. Trying to be posh. Oh, I found as well the tip. If you smash the garlic first, then it's easier to peel the individual little segments. Don't try and peel it first because your hands will just smell like garlic for years. But I'm doing all this prep in advance while I'm waiting for the onions to cook. I put them in little paper cases because I don't want to wash another dish. So I could just chuck the cases. So next we're going to add some coriander and cumin. Now when I read this recipe I was really worried because I don't like coriander normally, like the leafy coriander. But it doesn't taste like that at all. Now I don't know whether that was me in my head being a bit top. I didn't realise that they were like two different things. Are they two different things? I don't know. So it didn't taste like the leafy coriander. I suppose that's good. Oh, 2024 is not going to be any better. I'm still going to act like a bimbo. Now don't worry, the camera didn't fall. I was picking it up to show you. So we want the onions sweating. And here are the ingredients ready. Like for such a big pot of soup, I was so surprised at how small the seasonings are. They're very powerful. So when the onions are sweated down, it takes about 5 to 7 minutes. Add the garlic in and add the spices in. I'm just going to mix it up. And then when they smell really strong and fragrant, we are going to then add the rest. It smelled amazing. It really did smell amazing. I was really, really scared of this recipe because I've never tried anything like this before, let alone make anything like this before. But it was really good. So we're going to add some water in. Now the recipe I read said for a lot less water than I used. So I think I pretty much tripled the recipe recommendation of water. And it turned out fine still, so... way. But I did add a stock cube in there. They did say to use vegetable broth, but I'm not the type of person to keep vegetable broth on me or make it. I'm a lazy person. I'm not doing that. A stock cube will just be the same, I hope. If not, it tasted nice, so it worked. So just going to leave that boil a little bit. And still boiling. More water. See, I told you. So the recipe sheet I'll give you will put all the measurements that I used. So don't worry. We'll follow my recipe. I sound like a chef. So once that's come into like a boil, simmer, we're going to add the carrots in. I forgot to show you the first tray going in. Here's a second. And I'm just playing around with effects. Look at that drop in. That looks so cool. Bloop. 2024 is not going the way I thought. And I think I'm going crazy already. So we're just going to let this boil and the flavours mold together. There's got to be a more posh word for that. I can't think of it. I need word of the day toilet paper or something like that to expand my vocabulary. But we're just going to leave the soup boil and simmer. I think it was about 10 minutes, 15 minutes I left it like this. But in the background, you might notice the shadow on the wall of me going frantic. Not at the moment, I might have cut it out, I don't know. Because when I went to go and find our little stick blender to blend this all together, it decided to break. And I desperately started to worry, because how are we going to blend this to make soup otherwise? It was not a fun time. This is the little bit of drama. So, thankfully, went over to Jelly Tot and the famous Dee. We all love Dee. She had a smoothie maker. So technically this is a carrot soup smoothie because this is the only thing I could get to make the soup. It was the only thing I could use to blend. Unless people didn't mind waiting half an hour for me to run home and get the blender and come back. But no, thank God for Dee. We had a smoothie maker. So we used that. And it still worked. I just had to do a lot of little batches of it. But it still worked. Now, in the original recipe, they said not to use a stick blender and to use a tall blender because it'll make the soup brighter. Now, I don't know how true that is. And to be honest, if you don't have a tall blender, I wouldn't recommend just going out to buy it for one recipe. So if you have a stick blender, use that. That's what I would have in the home. I don't have a tall blender. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. I remember thinking, I have to tell people in the video so they can give me their opinion, then they can tell me, sorry, Carol, I'm going on in the back if you can hear it. But yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. I've never heard that before. No clue. So, hey, let me know. If you try a stick blender and it doesn't come out as orange as you can see on the video, let me know. So there we go, Jess in the background, shadow, panicking. Trying to work out how to put the smoothie maker together. Now, sorry for the lighting here. But we're just going to pop the soup into the blender. Don't fill it over the max line. I don't want anybody to be exploded with soup. But I don't know if you'll see it here because I don't know if I cut it or not. While you're blending this, say about halfway through, once you know it's ready, we're going to put a little bit of butter in there and we're going to put a little bit of lemon juice in there. Now, wow, does that change it? I tried it before and I tried it after. It is amazing with both. But look how lovely that looks. And also, look at all the mess. You know me and the mess. I will be real and I will show you how messy I get. Oh, that's the blender that caused all the stress. We don't like him. Anyway, looks really nice. Looks really yummy. Nice and bright. Don't know if that blender thing is true, but let's see. So that's it. Hope you enjoy. Bye.